Okay, there's one more way that users can share events publicly, so let's take a look at that. The third and final method to make events publicly available for the Centerville Community Center would be, for example, for Emily, our events coordinator, to create and share a calendar in her own account with the events calendar. So for example, she would create a secondary calendar called Plays for Kids, and then she could simply share this calendar with the events, making them editor and send. Now, once an administrator has logged into the events account and accepted the calendar share, it'll appear on the Agendex calendar. After a minute or two back in the Agendex calendar, the new calendar, Plays for Kids, will appear under the public events calendar. The difference here is that we'll see that it comes from a specific user rather than the generic events calendar. Now that the calendar has been created, Emily can start managing events. For example, on Saturday, she can define an event for kids, and within a minute or two, it will appear in the Agendex calendar, available for the whole community to see. And there you go. Now, there is one caveat with this particular method. As we mentioned, this calendar now comes from a particular user rather than a generic events calendar. The problem with this is if down the road that user leaves the organization and the account is deleted, any traces of those events and calendars will also disappear. Just something to keep in mind. So let's finish by summarizing tutorial 1, which deals with sharing and managing calendars that we want to make publicly available to the outside world. The first method was to use the service account directly. In our example, we logged in as the events account and managed the calendars directly in that account. The second way is we were able to share some of those calendars with other users in the organizations, and then those users can then see those calendars right in their Outlook client and manage events right there. And the final way was for users to create a secondary calendar in their own account, share it with the events calendar or the service account, and anything that they would put in that calendar would then appear on the public site. Again, the caveat with that one is if ever that user's let go from the organization or leaves the organization, then there's a chance that those calendars will eventually be deleted and all traces of those events might disappear.